Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate General Gettysburg, the first of the Ultimate General games, which looks, as you guessed it, at the Battle of Gettysburg. We're returning to part 4 of a Let's Play series that we're playing as the Confederacy with the most difficult AI. There's 3 levels of AI difficulty and 3 levels of AI aggression. We're playing the hardest level AI with the balanced trait, so not overly aggressive or overly cautious. And so far, we have driven the Union from Seminary Ridge, we've driven them from Culp's Hill, and now we are trying to take Cemetery Hill. This was taken from a live stream from a few days ago, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the live streamy self of myself. I hope you guys enjoy, and away we go. And we're going to resume that campaign. The campaigns in this game all deal with a single battle, the Battle of Gettysburg, as you might guess from the name. Our army has been really shot to pieces so far. The Confederate army has lost substantial forces. The Second Corps under General Richard Ewell has lost about 40% of its force, has about 11,000 men. We have the First Corps under General James Longstreet, or at least two-thirds of it, under McLaws and Hood's division, coming on the field here later today. And then we've got Ewell's Corps at our disposal immediately. So we'll have about 25,000 men in this scenario. Now this scenario, we took Culp's Hill on the first day's fight, so we've got to hold that hill, and then this scenario assumes a Confederate attack against Union positions along Cemetery Hill and Ridge. Interestingly enough, this is almost a reversal of history. Rather than attacking Little Round Top and Big Round Top and Cemetery Ridge and Cemetery Hill from the, was it the west? We're going to be attacking from the east, the other side. So this is kind of a reversed Battle of Gettysburg because we took Culp's Hill early on. That means we're going to be fighting kind of a battle in reverse, which is odd, and we'll see how it all plays out. The Union's going to outnumber us here. They're going to have about 30,000 men on the field by the end of this fight, to our 25,000 men. We've lost very heavy casualties in the last 2 fights, nearly 2-to-1 casualties against the Federals, which is going to make winning this battle even more difficult because by the end of the battle, the Union will have superior forces to our own. But we'll see how this all plays out. It's an afternoon attack on July 2nd, similar to what the history occurred, except again, on the opposite slopes. So we'll see. All right, we'll go ahead and jump in and fight. We'll go ahead and quickly pause the game here. Let's bring our artillery up. The first thing I'm going to do actually is going to go ahead and get some of these troops into defensive positions on Culp's Hill in these wooded terrains. Now, the morale of a lot of these units is very low because of the casualties they've taken, so we'll have to kind of bear that in mind. But I'm going to go ahead and bring most of my forces under Early are going to go over to Culp's Hill in order to hopefully defend if the Federals do decide to be aggressive and launch an attack against us there. They may also try and flank us around here through Sheep Heaven, which could be kind of tricky. Let's move Jones here. Have our flank refused by O'Neill, pointing down this way. And we'll move some more artillery up top here. And keeping our troops in cover is going to be important in this fight. Got quite a bit of artillery, which I'm going to leave kind of out in the open here near the Blucher's Knoll, if you will, area to kind of hopefully fire into the Federals, and maybe they can make an impact here with a clean line of sight. We'll bring Early over onto the hill itself, and then we'll bring Nickley, Iverson, and Daniel will kind of stay in the Gettysburg town area to threaten the north. If we can take Cemetery Hill, that would be a success to me. I'm not sure if we'll actually get to Cemetery Ridge, but we'll see how this all plays out. General Hood's division is arriving on the field right away, so all the way up here in the north. Some troops are already engaged with musketry by the sound of it. Looks like the Federals are advancing with the Irish Brigade. The actual town of Gettysburg, I think. I plan to launch my attack from Culp's Hill, mainly because then I can get some cover here. As I advance on Cemetery Hill. If I advance from the north, then I'm really going to be advancing across open ground. Guys really got shot up pretty quick there. But Longstreet's coming in. McLaws. Troops are coming in. Move our artillery into the open over here. Hopefully have a decent line of sight toward the Federal positions on Cemetery Hill. Federals are going to have the advantage in altitude, if you will. But they've got a little bit of a salient going here, so I'm hoping Cemetery Hill won't be too tough a nut to crack. They are advancing with Brooke here a little bit. Smith is engaging. He's in good cover there. He's outnumbered. Ramesser will come up and hopefully even the odds a bit. Federals are advancing on Culp's Hill over here, so that could be a challenge. Alright, so we're advancing 3 brigades to the right. Texas Brigade, Anderson's Brigade, and Benning will advance toward the rear of Culp's Hill to give it some reinforcements. It looks like the Federals are moving almost all of their forces north. Yankees have brought more guns. The 5th Corps' artillery is arriving. So we'll see if the 2nd Corps goes on the offensive. Wow, they've gotten shot to pieces. Real great if this artillery was shooting at someone. Not all of it is. Some of it, well, actually a lot of it is. They try and flank us here. That could be a challenge. But they're bringing up a lot of troops here to Cemetery Hill. Reinforcements. We've got a whole bunch of troops. Daniels, Iverson, and Nichols brigades firing into the Irish brigade. We're waiting for Longstreet's troops to come up. Trying to maintain their condition without rushing them forward. Of 0 condition. You'd think after resting overnight, the condition of some of these troops would be a little bit better. O'Neill's brigade is in good shape. This fight's taking... Things are taking a little while to get going here. Most of my guns are firing. Or a lot of them are, not all of them. More Yankee reinforcements. Barnes' division of the 5th Corps coming up. These brigades are ready, I think. All this artillery should be focusing on Cross's brigade. Our leaders here. Or Where's Longstreet? Street not on the field? Some federal infantry does appear to be swinging wide around us. Oh, here's Longstreet. Up a bit. Man, these guys are just taking casualties and doing nothing. Come on, I told you to attack. Just sit there and do nothing. Iverson's being driven back. Man, Confederate volleys really seem to be not terribly powerful in this game. I know my troops are largely in the open and theirs are in some cover, but I've also got dozens of guns firing on them. Right, sir, has troops behind us. The Texas Brigade will hopefully provide cover for our rear. They're pushing in north toward the town. That's fine. That extends their lines a bit. Makes them a little bit easier to push against. Kershaw's got a very large brigade. Ross's brigade's in some good cover. I think that's the challenge here. Holy crap. Maybe if we charge some of these guys? Kind of got to keep the troops I have there on Culp's Hill where they're at. Law and Kershaw have fresh and very large brigades. Barksdale also will bring these guys up on the double. Wolford's just in a sea of Yankee blue all by himself. I don't know where Sims is charging through, but I was hoping he would engage with Cross. He seems to just be charging straight through their lines. Not doing a lot. Wolford's brigade is melting away. I want you to shoot at the guy. Got 100% fully loaded rifles. Mow the guys down. Okay, Wolford just got obliterated. I have a bunch of reserves that way. Benning, bring your brigade forward. His artillery's not shooting at anyone. I don't know if it's because my infantry's blocking their line of sight. They're on some elevation, so I would hope they could fire over their heads, although I know during the Civil War the Confederates often kind of got angry when their artillery fired over their heads because the Confederate fuses were so unreliable that often they'd just as likely explode over their own men's head as anything else. Barksdale, you've got a fully loaded brigade there. Fire a volley at Zook. Broke. Actually, no. Fire into Zook's flank. Wolford's trying to rally. Some troops are behind us, but overall, Culp's Hill feels safe-ish. Don't run everywhere. Right. Now advance. Benning come up. 5th Corps arrived to reinforce the Yankees. Soon, the whole Army of the Potomac will be on the field. Well, we still haven't seen the 6th. Alright, we're advancing somewhat. Fire at Zook. Exposed. Okay. Man, these federal brigades just don't want to die. Wilford, why don't you come up a bit? And you come up that way. He's kind of the reserve of Culp's Hill, so we'll see how this all plays out. I've got a lot of artillery on Culp's Hill, a pretty thin line of infantry, not a lot of reserves, especially if Schweitzer's brigade comes in behind. They are moving additional troops north here. I was going to have to engage Stannard here. Damn, enemy artillery is also kind of at point-blank range for us. Great to knock him out. Broken Nicolay seams are falling back. Zook is being driven back, partially anyway. Off of Cemetery Hill. Getting close to the objective, but again, they've got more reinforcements coming up. Wooford. Anderson needs to come up and exploit this. Get up there on the double. Troops are nearly 100%. Alright, Webb is turning his flank. Stop running there. Right. Getting close. We'll engage some of those men against Webb. Anderson, come on. You're not even getting shot at here, Iverson. You can at least lend some cover. Wish these guys would just kind of position themselves. I guess they do have to reposition a bit. A lot of this artillery is doing nothing. I mean, that's partially because I'm not using it effectively, but... Turn to Webb's flank here. Chewed up a bit here. And stop running. Maintain your condition there. Alright, Webb is retreating now. Trying to extend this tiny bit of a... I don't know if I want to call it a breakthrough, but... whatever it is. Alright, move forward here to protect the flank. Kershaw's flank is open to Krasinski's troops. I've got to at least move Sims and Nicolay up to eat some of that fire. You're stacking up a bit against Culp's Hill's right flank. I think our artillery here is helping hang in there. Force is going to do that. The Texas Brigade North, they haven't been heavily engaged yet. None of these artillery batteries are doing anything. Standards engaging in melee. Everybody's engaged in melee at the moment. Kershaw just got driven back, it looks like. That's not good. He's one of our stronger brigades. Stewart's also being driven back. The tide feels like it's ebbing. Kershaw firing Coster here. Don't let him fire into our tax flank. Stewart's also... Don't run. I don't want you to melee. I just want you to shoot the guys. Wolford's still there. We're like right on the objective point, but we just can't take it. Guys up here are still firing on them. Focus all your guns over there. Barksdale's melting. This does not look good. Brigade, you come up here. You're still in good shape. Anyone? Iverson's not in any shape to fight. Irish Brigade's actually getting pushed back, or one of the brigades just got pushed back here. I don't know who. Man, our troops are streaming back. Battle ending is delayed. We haven't succeeded. We got very close. Okay, charging a couple of brigades here that are in relatively good condition. Individually, Standard's brigade outnumbers them, but maybe will overwhelm him. Oh god, I didn't mean Benning to charge all the way down there. That was dumb. Yeah. That charge was doomed to failure. Alright, those two brigades didn't dislodge Stannard. They did inflict some casualties, but... Battle's still delayed. Texas Brigade's got a full volley. I want them to volley and then charge. They actually have a line of sight to shoot. Got 1,700 muskets here. They could put a pretty good volley into Stannard. Stannard's actually pulling back here. They fired part of their volley, but not the whole thing. No, don't charge off that way. Oh, I have to stop the charge because you decide to go the wrong damn direction. It's pretty clear where the enemy is. Cemetery Hill is starting to shift. Guys are all fought out. Kershaw's just barely hanging in there to kind of anchor my attack's flank. can see here the Cemetery Hill icon is shifting. Federals have troops over here, so I can't totally abandon Culp's Hill. Anderson advance this way. Artillery up a little bit closer. We're winning on Cemetery Hill. So the battle is shifting here. They've got a whole line of infantry here that can probably counterattack depending on how long this battle is delayed. Got another brigade moving in here, 1,500 men. So we've got more troops than them on the hill, I think. But I don't know how long we can stick around here. Got horribly... like, our lines are horribly intertwined. Why don't you stop advancing? I don't want the Texas Brigade to keep marching forward. I literally just want you to stop and shoot. Fire a volley at these guys. Or melee them with... while you're exhausted. As you can see here, their troops are just melting away in melee. Largely, I think, because they're exhausted. They were also receiving a volley there. Getting canistered to the flank of the Texas Brigade here. Kershaw's hanging in there. Law and the Texas Brigade likewise. Although the Texas Brigade won't last long on the way this is going. Jesus. Obviously the, oh god, they've got troops all the way back there in our rear. Schweitzer just went directly into the rear of our army. Good thing that doesn't matter in this scenario. Artillery's firing behind us. There's no way we're hanging on here unless the battle just gifts us an ending. This is going to go all the way to the end the way this is going. I don't think there's any way. Hang on to Cemetery Hill. We're just losing too many men too quickly. They're firing canister right into our flanks. I mean, maybe if ammunition was a thing, but it's really not. We just lose Longstreet killed? Because his first corps looks like it's... First corps commander looks like it's routed. Just riding aimlessly that way. Longstreet may have just been killed. Or at the very least, he's not able to stay that close to the fight anymore. For whatever reason. Like, my artillery's done nothing. Most of it, anyway. I've just used it horribly ineffectively. Right, early. Alright, we actually just drove back a Federal brigade. Of course, the Texas Brigade's retreating now. Fenning's pulling back. Federals have 20,000 men. We're down to 13,000. We basically just lost what was left of the Second Corps. This army is just melting away. Not a pretty sight. I don't know why it still says... I guess we've got more men on the objectives still. We've got a lot of small brigades here. We've still got the Texas Brigade and Law hanging in. The Texas Brigade orders to hold. Anderson had just advanced. His morale is shot, though. Longstreet's still around. He's lost half his corps. He just was, just pushed back. Doesn't look like the enemy's going to push on Culp's Hill, so I'm just going to feed troops in this way. I'm just going to run these guys over this way directly. Keep a couple of troops, the Stonewall Brigade and this artillery. We'll keep them honest, but I've really got to hope to hang in for the next, like, half an hour or so till this battle has a mandatory end. These fights do have a mandatory end if you fight too long. My artillery may have actually turned the tide, bringing some of these guns in close. It's really hard to tell what's going on because it's just a clump of, you know, the mess. Definitely opening up a hole here if the Federals want to push on Culp's Hill. Ramesar, you go here and guard. Actually, Schweitz back this way. Oh, I don't know if we have another hour we've got to hold. I'm not quite sure. That red line has to go all the way across. A lot of these troops just, they don't have lines of sight. And again, I'm just clumping everybody in on the objective to try and hold it because no one's morale is really good enough to engage in a stand-up fight with a few exceptions. They're launching an attack on Culp's now. Hopefully the terrain and the artillery we have there will do a good enough job of hanging in there. Can't believe Zook is still... I mean, some of these federal brigades are down, like the Irish Brigade, 189 men, and they're still fighting. If this was Ultimate General Civil War, these guys would have run a long time ago. Smith's brigade and Ames's brigade are concerning. Zook and Biddle are a little bit more beat down. A little bit less worried about them. Smith and Stewart just got driven back over here, so we've really got a narrow salient. How's the Irish Brigade pushing anyone back with 180 men? Anderson just got driven back. Bulls, I think, is retreating as well. Like maybe another half an hour that we gotta hold. Man, I thought it was just till 7:30. More Yankee reinforcements arrive. It's Crawford's division of the 5th Corps. Good God. If they come directly at Culp's Hill, God save our troops. Whole army is streaming backwards. We've just got like 2 brigades that are in the Cemetery Hill area. This would be quite the irony if we lost Culp's Hill but kept Cemetery Hill. I just broke my army trying to take this position. Good God, Texas Brigade. Fire your guns. There's no reason it should... You're this close to the enemy, and it doesn't look like there's anyone in front of you. Forward on the double, get back toward the objective spot. We can't risk that falling. Don't have enough men over there. Pray we can hang in there for another 30 minutes. I don't know how long the Stonewall Brigade's gonna last. We'll give them orders to hold. Got all these artillery batteries in and around. Schweitzer's actually getting mauled pretty badly from our artillery at long range. I want to say he started the battle with like 1,700 men. Something like. Irish Brigade's literally going to fight till every last soldier dies, apparently. Okay, Barksdale's retreating. Oh, wow. Only has 300 men left. Texas Brigade is retreating. Federal's stacking up heavy on Culp's Hill's flank. 20 minutes left by the looks of it. Stop running and hold your damn ground. Batteries, move over this way. Get out in front of Iverson. "15 minutes by the looks of it. Just about. Setting move up. Everybody's running. Sir, it seems the battle will end in a few minutes. Both armies are exhausted. Oh god, they're moving up fresh troops. You running, I just want you holding. Hold your ground. Everybody just hang in there for like 10 more minutes. Culp's Hill should be safe. But Cemetery Hill, it feels like we're just gonna lose it just in the nick of time. Not that it does us much good. I can't imagine we're going to have anything left to fight with in the next scenario. Eight more minutes. Good God, I wonder what the casualties are on this fight are. Five minutes. Pushing up on the right flank of Culp's Hill, but I don't think they'll get there in time. Outcome draw. 14,000 casualties for us. Wow, the Federals actually lost about as badly as we did. They lost 13,000. The battle's considered a draw. We actually took Cemetery Hill. We held on to Culp's Hill. The Federals held on to Cemetery Ridge. Now, frankly, if we have Cemetery Hill and Culp's Hill, Cemetery Ridge is badly outflanked. We also have Seminary Ridge, if we have any men left to man it. They're really hemmed in three ways pretty badly. But if we go here and we take a look at casualties, just ferocious. Ewell's Corps is up to 60% casualties. Longstreet's at 43%. Hill's at 47%. Jeb Stuart hasn't engaged yet, so we should get 7,300 reinforcements in the next fight, as well as Pickett's division. Those are going to be critical, but the Federals are going to have the whole damn 6th Corps, which hasn't engaged. They only have 5% casualties in their 12th Corps. Their 11th Corps is badly shattered, 62% casualties. 6th Corps of 13,000 men haven't even engaged yet. Sickles' 3rd Corps hasn't even engaged yet. That's 23,000 fresh infantry there. The 16% casualties in the 5th Corps, that's in very good shape. Their whole army is 62,000 men against our 37,000 men. This is, I don't know what the next fight's going to look like. But alas, that next fight will be for our next video. This is going to do it for part 4 of Ultimate General Gettysburg as the Confederacy. We have successfully taken Cemetery Hill. Cemetery Ridge was outside of our ability to take, but we have taken Culp's Hill, we've taken Cemetery Hill. We've driven the Yankees back at immense cost to ourselves. If you can call this a victory from a tactical perspective, you know, taking Seminary Ridge, Oak Hill, Oak Ridge, Culp's Hill, Cemetery Hill, all of these objectives have fallen to us. And if you can consider that a victory, fine. but in many ways it may be a Pyrrhic victory. We'll find out, though, because we're now into July 3rd, which historically was the final day of the Battle of Gettysburg, and we'll see how this fight turns out in our next video. Until that next video, though, guys, I want to thank you all for watching, as always, and until then, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.